All right, we are back. We are day 2 of our pre-FETC interviews and bringing people on. Yesterday was super exciting. We kicked off with Eric Kurtz and we talked to Phil Hintz and we got this train rolling. I see some people already logging in. If you have some questions for our guest tonight, make sure to leave those in the comments. And it's like bringing the band back together. I have my co-host who will be with me in FETC. Rob, welcome back. What's going on?
Hey, man, it's exciting to be here again. Love the conferences, and FETC has always been one of my favorite. And another chance to work with you. It's all good.
Yeah, we had a good time at ISTE. We were live. We're going to do the same thing. The show is back on the road. I actually talked to Jen Wombo today, getting us on the floor. So you ready for round 2?
Absolutely ready. I had a chance to meet some amazing people last year and chat with them. And I'm excited to do it all over again in Orlando.
Nice. All right. We're going to bring in a veteran of the show. We go from Phil Hintz yesterday, who was his first time, although he's tried to sneak in a few times as a guest, but we were like, yeah, we're going to have to wait till you do something. So now we got him on to present because he was presenting at FETC. And we bring on someone who I think is going to be tired of seeing me after this season between NYSCA and ISTE and FETC. Tim Needles. Oh, and Tech and Learning. You're stuck with me a lot of times. How's it going, Tim?
Not bad. How's it going?
It's good. It's good. So for those who don't know your work or the things that you do, I'd love for you to introduce yourself before we dive into your time in Orlando.
Sure. So I am, this is my 26th year, I believe, at Smithtown School District on Long Island. I'm currently an EdTech coach, and I also wrote the book Steam Power for ISTE. So I present on STEAM and any interesting EdTech whenever I can.
Nice. How many times have you been to FETC?
This is my second. So last year I came to New Orleans for the first time, and it's great. So I had to come back.
Nice. How many have you gone to, Rob?
This is, I believe, my third. So looking forward to it. New Orleans was nice, but Orlando just seems right.
Yeah, I've been saying that too. Orlando was the first one I went to, and then Miami, and then New Orleans, and then I've been to Orlando twice. So I'm glad to be back. So Tim talked about Steam Power. So won't we just jump in right there? So for those who don't know Tim's work and a lot that we're going to bring up his sessions in a minute, share about what this is.
Sure.
Besides a book.
Yeah. So I basically just shared my favorite STEAM projects, everything from literally cardboard to AR, VR, and robotics. So from low tech to really high tech, a couple projects for each different technology. And I really, I've been teaching it for 20 years, and I just wanted to share the things that work the best and really make sure that it was something that is really elastic, that, someone in elementary could use, or high school or college, just really good projects. And then how to elevate it by collaborating and doing other things. And, I love STEAM, and, I'm an artist. So obviously I believe in the A being with STEM, but I also reached out to people from NASA and other places to get their take on it. And, happily, they all, I didn't know before I did the book that NASA literally hired artists for problem solving and things like that. So really cool.
So NASA, so that just took me a second to let that sink in. So how does that work? They hire artists, and you being an artist, how does that work?
Yeah, so I asked them so many questions. This is a good thing for any educator out there. I asked them so many questions that I got a job. So I became a NASA Solar System ambassador because I really asked so many questions. So now I work with NASA and the Jet Propulsion Lab. So yeah, they they have some really difficult problems sometimes, like when they were putting out some of the space telescopes, and how do you fit a space telescope into a rocket and send it far out? So they were literally, they're artists studying origami to figure out how to fold it correctly and put it into a ship and have it unfold by itself, because if there's any problem, nothing works and we're just stuck. So yeah, they have artists work on all different kinds of things, and even the food, because you can't have crumbs on any ship. So they have to design food that's crumbless, and so really interesting, STEAM really that has everyone knows about the space science, and has an idea about that, but all of the other stuff is really enlightening.
Yeah, it's a lot of little things you probably take for granted.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of work with teachers, introducing them to different technology, STEM and STEAM products. And I always find that the art, whether it's the physical arts, the media arts, they always feel left out because they don't really know their place in the STEM universe. But when you add the A into it and you incorporate everything together, it just makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah. And the other thing is that there's so many things like in an average iPhone that was just created for NASA that ends up in like regular pieces of our lives, and we just don't even realize it sometimes.
Awesome. So before we dive into the FETC, because that's coming in like 2 weeks, but you have a little something I saw coming up pretty soon for.
Oh, yeah.
So let's give a shout out to what this might be or what this is, and to share those who are interested, because that's coming up next week.
Yeah, this is really fun. I mean, like I work as a ISTE community leader, and so I'm working with a bunch of other community leaders, and we put together a digital escape room. So really kind of fun. It's like it's a creative project where like it's rather than do a book study, here's something where it gives you ideas about the book, and then we'll actually be giving away books while we do it. So it's kind of fun. So you'll actually it's a challenge, and it's kind of a fun puzzle that you have to solve in order to get to the end. So we're working about 6 or 7 levels, which is really fun. So there's like visual puzzles, there's number puzzles, and all different types of things.
I love that. Breakout EDU is one of my favorite things. But even before then, I used to use simple tools like Google Forms and Google Sheets and work with teachers, just setting up very basic digital escape rooms for their students. Just another way to engage them, whether it's a math teacher or a social studies teacher. That's the beautiful thing about the digital escape rooms. It's cross-curricular and great for every grade level. So that sounds very exciting.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We're just basically modeling some of the stuff we've been doing for a long time. And it really works. I mean, it's really engaging for adults or students. It doesn't matter.
Nice. So now we're going to dive into what you're doing, because you have quite a bit down there besides Meet the Author. So on Thursday, make sure you go to see Tim in the author experience. He'll have his books there. Chat with him, get to know him, good dude, and get a book, get it signed, get a photo. And then after that, you have a few sessions. So for those of individuals looking through and scrolling through these different sessions, share a little bit about each of the sessions that you're going to present.
Sure. I mean, like, this is my 3rd year as an ed tech coach. So I really love being able to collaborate with so many educators in different buildings. And I found that the library is like the center of the school, like,
Yeah.
So it really helps. I mean, I've come to really gain a greater appreciation for a library. And so I'm actually coming down with the librarian I work with the most, Kathy Massour, and we're going to share some of the ways that we actually work together and how to collaborate with other teachers in different departments and things like that. So a lot of fun and really, really interesting. I mean, we've done it a few times, and we like to keep it really active. So we do like storytelling actively with the audience, by throwing the cue ball and stuff like that. And
oh wow,
it's a hands-on session, so it's going to be fun.
And that one was the first. That was
Collaboration
Thursday.
Magic. Yeah.
Okay, and then you film. So you go from magic to film to steam power. So what are the other two?
Yeah, so for the film one, it's really talking, AI is such a big thing in every conference right now. So this is really talking about ethics, so the ethics of all new technology, not just AI, but using short film, especially sci-fi short film, to actually pose some of the questions to teachers and students and actually have, meaningful conversations. So this is based on an actual college program. So every engineer and with NASA, like every single person has to go through an ethics class before they start now. So which is, I think, a positive thing.
Yeah.
So this is one of the, we're modeling it off of an actual college engineering program where they actually were using ethics, and you had to, they had, sort of like this basic sort of, just like when you become an administrator for education,
Sure.
Different examples of things that could happen. But it's much more fun if you make it active and use film, and then actually create your own films to share out some of the thoughts and ideas that come from it. So it's something that builds and is really interesting. And then, of course, for Steam Power, I just share every kind of Steam that I, all of the different ed tech tools that I use and the different projects and how they've been evolving since I wrote the book.
How have they been evolving?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, I mentioned AI briefly, but now it's such a big piece of everything that we do. So a little bit of that kind of stuff. But even, one of the cool things about writing a book, as you well know, is that you put it out in the world and then people come to you and say like, oh, I've been using this and this project's great. I kind of tweaked it and did this. So I'm really sharing out things that have been shared with me. So the ways that some of these projects have evolved. So like, some of the projects have a life of their own, like video poems, like, have ended up in museums and all these different places. And, there was video poems that went actually with the Norman Rockwell Museum and things like that. So it's just cool. And letting people know about the resources and what's out there. So that's always fun.
I like it. So not only the sessions, are there any sessions that you are looking to take in? What are you looking to learn?
Like for me, doing just 3 is like, that's like a really low
I would
lift.
say, I remember your docket at NiceGate was much more than 3.
Yeah, so it's actually really nice to be able to get, especially in the beginning of the year, like it's a fresh start. I like to actually learn a lot. So I'm going to, and FETC has so many different kinds of cool sessions.
And tracks, that's what I definitely have liked about it.
Yeah, I mean, like the tracks are great, and like the pitch fest, and so like last year I found it really great checking out some of the different types of sessions, and it's always fun to go to the show floor before the budget comes out so that you actually have some ability to plan what you might get and things like that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, especially some of the new ed tech, like how people are actually using it. So like, a lot of people were playing when we talked about stuff last year. So like, I'd like to see how it gets infused.
Right, because it was just coming out. Yeah.
Right. So that's really what I'm curious about.
So I know Rob's going to be on the vendor floor. What are some of the vendors you're looking to check out?
Yeah, that's a good question. So like, we're looking at AI right now. So like, I certainly want to get over to like Magic School and see what they're doing. Like that's a really popular one. I always love checking out like Adobe and any kind of creative stuff. I worked with Adobe last year in their session, and they have really great hands-on sessions. And
were they the one that had the upside down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. The big upside down room, which is based on, I don't know if you know, like in the actual Adobe offices.
No
like
way.
A permanent version of that. Yeah.
Wow.
So they remade it, which is cool. And, I even had one of the people that helped design that talk to my students about designing stuff
from Adobe
events. Yeah. So that, you made it teachable, which is really cool. Yeah. So I always love that kind of stuff. And then honestly, any kind of ed tech that's hands-on, like I'm big, we do a lot of environmental projects. So like, there's a few different environmental companies. And I always hit like the things that we use a lot, Google and Quizlet and, quizzes rather. And all of the stuff that we use so often. So like Discovery Ed, and, I always like to check out what the new things are. Cause like usually updates happen around this time. So we get to see some of what's coming ahead.
So are you going to get a direct flight at least? I don't know where you're flying out of in New York.
Yeah, no, it's not too bad. Well, I fly out of, I think I'm out of LaGuardia this time. Yeah, okay. So direct flight for sure. It's, you know what? I'm actually out of Islip where I am. You get a direct flight, which is nice. That's rare. That doesn't happen too often. But like half of New York goes to Florida when they're, everyone retires and moves there. So
True.
It's easy to get a flight. So it's exciting. Yeah.
Nice.
And I think we might even actually get to see a shuttle launch from NASA when we're there. Wow. Yeah. So there's one that's planned currently. It's scheduled tentatively for the 19th, but I think they'll end up moving it a couple of days. So, there's a chance we might actually see one, which is cool.
That would be very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, we have one of our friends from NiceGate jumped in. We had a chance to connect. I mean, Isti, sorry, you had a chance to connect. Doesn't look like you're going to be at FETC though, Stevie, with the TCA hashtag there. That's a bummer.
Good to see you, Stevie.
Yeah. So, Rob, you going to bring us home?
So I got a question for you. Tim, you might have heard this question before, but new year, new thoughts. When you hear Stronger Together, what does that make you think of?
Well, because I have been out there going to a lot of conferences and sharing more and collaborating more, I mean, Stronger Together really is something I try to live. So to me, it's, I feel, this is 26 years at the same district, but I feel more invigorated now than I ever have because I'm collaborating so much. So I think that's what it's about. Even if you don't know how to do something, being able to rely on, the room rather than just yourself, or, in some cases, just the whole district, and being able to, go out there and support each other and help each other, and live our best lives as educators. So, I mean, that's always the thing that I aim for. And, certainly FETC, like, there's nothing quite like being in Orlando in January.
Yeah, that's a tough scene. That is a tough scene. So thank you for jumping back on. We look forward to seeing you there. Tim's socials are down there. Check that out, because you'll find the link to his book. Again, if you haven't seen it, make sure to check out Steam Power. Not only you can get it on Amazon and other online environments, he will be signing those books Thursday, January 25th from 1:30 to 2. So check him out. And 3 amazing sessions, 2 on Thursday and 1 on Friday. And Rob and I will be back together again at 7:30. We have one of my co-hosts for kicking off the admin track will be coming on, and it'll be his first time. So we have a veteran in Tim, and we're going to break in one of our new guests. And we have, I'll say, Stevie, I think it's the first time you've commented here. So welcome into the show. We'll have to get you a part of it as well. I don't know if we do much with TCA, but maybe they'll give us a ring. So Tim, safe travels. Rob, we will connect with you soon in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim,
Shout out to Glenn
Orlando.
too.
Shout out to who?
Glenn. My buddy.
Yeah,
Glenn
Glenn's coming up next. I will give a little sneak peek. I found this picture. Like we got to find out what this is. We got to find out what this is.
Great.
So stay tuned to see what he is doing, and stay tuned, because we coming out today. I'm interviewing Jen Womble tomorrow for the 5 new things you'll see at FETC.
Oh, cool.
Then over next week, we're back at it on Monday, and a couple times next weekend too. And then we'll be 2 days live in Orlando. So make sure to check that out. Keep checking back. If you didn't catch this live, catch it on repeat. It's on our channel. Tim, we'll see you soon. Rob, will see you even sooner.
Have a good one, guys.
Hey,
everybody.
guys.